Hey everyone, it's Base here. We got with us Sean Defense, Sped Turtle, and Jared. We're with First Gaming, and we're gonna go ahead and go over our advanced tactics video. Now this video is a little different than our tips and tricks video. We're actually gonna be going over tactics in the games instead of kind of what to do and what not to do. We're gonna give you more of a tactical standpoint on some things. So I mean, we're just gonna kick this here. We're not gonna make this video too extremely long. One of the first things I'm going to go over, personally, is avenues of approach. Now, a big thing is knowing your maps, in this game. There's not too many maps since almost everyone plays on the recruit servers. So, I mean, there's really not that too many maps. You can kind of know the maps pretty well. So, knowing your avenues of approach is kind of like, knowing where you can get shot from, where people can come from, just kind of knowing your, surrounding areas. And then knowing where you can get out, where you can go. Just knowing your areas around you, know your past. It's a pretty simple tactic. Just know your avenues of approach. You want to hit our next one there, Sped Turtle?
Yeah, so the next one I guess to talk about is communications. Now, this refers mostly to people who are playing within, I guess, a team base, and it's pretty much the exact same thing we're doing now, is communicating over some sort of device. And I mean, that makes a huge amount of difference because you're able to relay information almost instantly, whereas if you don't, you have to type it, right? And that takes a little longer. So communications is another advanced tactic that you can use, especially while playing in teams, to work better together in that sort of way.
Yeah, and I mean we already went over the F1, F2, F3, F4, and that's a great way to communicate if you don't have your Skype.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think that's about it for communications.
Sean Defense is going to go over the next one.
Another thing you want to do is make sure you cover your teammates. A lot of times teams just run off and they don't stick together. So that's a big flaw with team gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is, if you're moving, at least have one guy with you, and move up on the enemy using your areas of approach, and make sure you're covering each direction. Don't be both looking around the same corner at the same time, making yourself both vulnerable. You got to cover each other's backs.
Yep.
Alright, another great thing you can do in your tactical standpoint, if you're trying to play this game a little more tactical, and even not tactical, another great thing you do is Suppressive Fire. And I do it all the time. If I'm running around a map, and I know there's going to be a lot of guys coming around a corner, especially in searching or plant the bomb, I have a 100-round clip, and I mean, if you got a 100-round clip, just start blowing that corner up. I mean, not only you may get a kill out of it, you may not, but you're suppressing the enemy away from that corner. They can see that you're shooting that corner up, and you actually keep that enemy back while your team moves. And I do it all the time in Plant the Bomb, and we actually get a lot of kills that way, just suppressing the enemy back while your team is moving.
Especially with large clips. They think you got to reload and you don't.
Alright. What's the next one to be covered?
Reading opponents.
Alright, reading opponents. Alright, I'll take that one over. I do this one quite a bit, actually. So, what we mean by reading your opponents is kind of, it's same as consisting of like the meta. So you kind of read what your person's going to do next. So for example, if I'm playing a plant the bomb match, right, or I'm playing a team deathmatch, and I'm starting to notice a player's kind of going to the same spot over and over again, you start to adapt. You start in that game mode specifically. You start to check those corners more than you normally would, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and also in, for example, plant the bomb. If one round goes by, some guy gets a grenade kill, like 3 kills off a grenade placement. In a sense, you might not realize it, but you're reading your opponent. You're not going to go down that same avenue. It might seem very simple and straightforward, but it's actually a style or a tactic you can use to, ensure that you don't die as often or you get kills.
Yeah, and it's not just reading one opponent specifically. It also can go into reading opponents as a whole. I mean, there are certain points, especially like if you run into Plant the Bomb. There's where you hide behind a box and I just lay down fire down a certain alley. There's specific spots where people always run there. They always go there, and it's a spot where you can pretty much read your opponents, or you're reading your opponents because you know people are gonna go there. And I always will get 1 or 2 kills that way. you're reading your opponents. You're knowing where they're gonna go. Not necessarily. I mean, it can go to a sort where you're reading one opponent. You've seen what he does multiple times, but also to the point where just reading opponents in general, just a path that most people take, and you just make sure your sights are down that path. So when they run down it, you're getting that kill.
Yeah.
And even so, like you don't want to waste time because you can't really stand around. If you stand around, you pretty much die. So what I do a lot is when I feel like someone's coming one direction, I'll throw a grenade that way and then cover my rear or whatever other direction they can flank me on.
Yeah. That kind of it kind of goes nicely in with what was the last one I went to? Avenues of approach. They kind of mesh in nicely because knowing your avenues of approach, I mean, is also key to knowing the meta, right? Or to knowing where people are going to end up going. So those two coincide very nicely.
The more comfortable you get with certain routes, so you kind of know which direction people like to take.
Yeah.
I think that's it on our advanced tactics. We're actually going to be going into our next video. We're gonna be recording our next video, which is gonna be advanced tips and tricks, which is gonna be a lot different than tactics. Tactics, like you just learned, it's more of a tactical standpoint. Whereas advanced tips and tricks, it's gonna be more of what we do at the advanced level while playing to help you pretty much just play better in general. But I think that's it for advanced tactics. We thank you for watching our video. If you haven't seen some of our other videos, go ahead. If you guys have any requests on videos you want us to make, go ahead and place them in the comments below. But I think that's it. I'm Base. We have Sped Turtle, Sean Defense, and Jared with us. And thanks for watching First Gaming.
All right, have a good one, guys.